configures npm package dependencies that are available to all projects in the workspace. And important is what is package.lock.json. So that means it provides version information. It provides version information for all packages installed into node modules. So package JSON contains dependencies of the packages. Dependencies of the packages means, so you installed one package, that package needs one more dependency. For example, you installed Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, you are installing CSS and Bootstrap jQuery. But Bootstrap jQuery requires a jQuery dependency. Without jQuery, Bootstrap jQuery will not work. I think many of you know that. Such dependencies are present for packages. So what dependencies are required? Those dependencies are present in this. The dependencies for packages are defined inside package.json. In package.json, the dependencies are defined. You can see the dependencies. Angular animations, Angular common, Angular compare. These are the dependencies and their versions. Dependencies for development, dependencies for production, all are defined here. So the dependencies are present here. That means for our project, what dependencies are required, what packages and their dependencies are required. All the dependencies are defined here. And package lock.json is nothing but this package lock.json contains version information about those dependencies. That means what package is present? Angular core package is present. Okay. What is the version? And it's all metadata is present here. That means these are all the package related versions. That means whatever the packages that you are using, their version related information, their registry information, version information, and everything is present inside this. Only package names and dependencies are present in package.json. Their version and all other details are present, means metadata of the package is present here. That means you can get all the information about the packages here. All the information about the packages. List of packages you will find in package.json. Version and other information you can simply say that packages metadata. Metadata is present inside this package lock.json. Package lock.json. That is what actually package lock.json. Everything is present in that particular file, right? Next important, you can see you have a README. README is a help documentation. We have a README, readme.md. Actually, it is introductory documentation for the root application, for the root app. It is a help document. So you can make it in the startup also. Whenever the project is launched, immediately you can load this README document so that the client can understand how to use it. Client can understand which version it is using. All such details you can trigger by using the README documentation. So it is simple help document. It contains all the general tips and all the other options for the developers. For the developers, actually, this is not for clients anywhere we use. This is for all for developers. For development server, how they have to run. For the production server, for building, how they have to run. So for testing, how they have to run. All such things are defined in this just help documentation, right? That is defined in this README, right? Next important, you can see TS config, and so many are there by the name TS config. So many are there by the name TS config. So we have TS config, config.json. Actually, it is TypeScript configuration for projects. TypeScript configuration for projects. So what do you mean by TypeScript configuration for projects? That means it is the TypeScript configuration for projects. Actually, TypeScript configuration is nothing but tsconfig.json. You can see this is TypeScript configuration. TypeScript configuration is nothing but when you are using TypeScript in your Angular, then it will define. That means it configures the compiler. It configures the compiler, output directory, etc. That means, so the compiler related options, from where it has to pick the file, into which version of JavaScript it has to translate, right? All such options are defined inside TypeScript. Into which file the output of JavaScript should be generated so that browsers can understand and use. Those are all defined in this TypeScript JSON. So compiler and output directory related options are defined in this TypeScript TS JSON. We have another option, tsconfig.app.json. tsconfig.app.json. Actually, it includes, actually this is also same. Difference is tsconfig is for, it is for all projects in workspace. That means it will affect all projects in workspace. So it is for only current project. That means current project, what the configuration should be, you can define in tsconfig. tsconfig app.json, tsconfig, both are same, right? The point is tsconfig is for all projects and tsconfig app.json is for only current project, Both are same configurations. If you make any change here, it will affect only the current project. If you make change here, it will affect all the projects in the current workspace. That is what actually tsconfig, right? We have another tsconfig spec. Remember tsconfig.spec.json. Wherever you see spec, that means it is for testing. It is for testing of of TypeScript configuration. That means whatever you written in TypeScript configuration, that you can test by using tsconfig.spec. Anywhere you see spec means specifications. That means it is a testing file. In Angular project, you will come across so many times about this spec. Every time it is specific, right? Yeah. Another final option we have tslint. tslint.json. You remembered when we learned about Visual Studio Code. In Visual Studio Code plugins, I asked you to install tslint plugin. You remembered? So in the Visual Studio extensions, I asked you that you install tslint plugin. So tslint plugin, you can see tslint plugin. You remembered, right? tslint. Can you tell me what is the purpose of that? why I asked